do it right here?
You can, it can be an imaginary yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order tonight. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, Danielle, do you want a roll call?
Sure. Steph Penzine, McDonald,
Here.
Judy Schulte,
Here.
David Rowley. Here. Chris Johnson.
Present.
Okay, do we have, I didn't see the minutes in that package. Do we have any minutes from September, I think of?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's the thing I put in the packet.
That's the thing printed in the packet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Minutes and everything. Right there.
okay. Well, it wasn't from the email, was it? Did I miss it?
It was in the email.
Okay. I
Like,
missed
really
it.
making me feel- I'm like, I'm not doing my job.
No. It's me. Read your email, Mike. Read your email. So, for those that have read it and everything, do we have a motion to?
I approve, make a
minutes?
motion to approve the minutes of the last, and now I don't have. it.
September 14th.
September 14th, 2021, not 23.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Future.
Motion by Judy, second by Chris. Do we have to say all in favor?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. No communications tonight. To be read or approval of the agenda. The agenda itself, we have one item on the agenda tonight for Mr. Fondao.
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything else on the agenda that need to be addressed or added to? Okay. All those in favor of approving the agenda, don't need a roll call on that, right? All those in favor say approve the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay,
Motion
motion.
for the agenda, motion to.
Oh, I missed the motion.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Gina,
Motion to approve, Gina's.
second.
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now that we got the formalities down,
Motion to.
You have to open the public hearing.
okay, motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
7:04,
I'll second it.
Okay,
okay,
I don't have to say all in favor, do I? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Same sign for no, okay. I'm really rusty at it. Okay, so with that,
The public
Mr.
is here.
Pondo, the public hearing is open, and if you wanted to give us a description of what you're proposing and describe your project and.
Absolutely. I would like to build an outbuilding, a pole barn style outbuilding in front of my property. I know there isn't a variance required if it is of light materials, but I would like to do an all steel structure instead of siding and shingles like my house. I do live on 3 acres. The property would be 150 feet approximately back from the main road. I live right on Dixie Highway and 25 feet above the road. I just want something that's cost effective and that will be maintenance free. And that's what I'm looking to do.
Okay.
did everybody go on the property? Anybody go on the property?
I did.
I did.
Okay,
I
so
added
Sure.
you.
each,
Yes,
everybody's
I did.
property response, so Gina.
So you're actually requesting 2 variances. One to build it in the front yard and one to change the exterior construction.
No,
It's allowed in the front yard if it has similar exterior finishes. So that it gets down to the finishes.
I
Okay,
think the variance is the size and the material.
yeah,
That was my question to you is, the size of the building, what appears to be either a 56 by 40 or a 40 by
It's a
40.
40 by 40 with the lean-to on one side, and a small portion on the other.
Is
side.
the roof continuous off that lean?
I know it steps down 2 feet and then continues.
And then continues on.
Yes, sir.
And so that's 10 feet off the one side towards your neighbors, right?
That is correct.
So that's basically around, that's around 2,200 square. How big is your principal house? What's your square footage on your house?
2150,
2,150?
yes, sir.
Okay. Because one of the reason why I asked that question is one of the requirements in the ordinance too is that a detached accessory building shall have no more than 50% of the square footage of the principal or main building. So when you do that math, you said it was 22, what is it?
Right.
22, so
50, yes.
that would be 1,100 square feet is the accessory building. And
That's all I'm allowed to build up front.
yes, that's, well, that according to the detached accessory ordinance, that's 1,100 feet square foot of a building in there. And I'm not sure what I wanted to get clarification from the township, and I'm not sure if anybody knows, is the lean-to on the outside of the building,
Counts.
because it has a foundation. I've always considered that
If it
as
has
part
a
of the
foundation.
building, so that the building you have right now, then with the, say it's 56 by 40 or something less than that, it's like 2,000 square feet, it's as big as your principal building,
Okay,
basically. And because the ordinance is detached accessory buildings to have no more than 50% of the square footage of the principal building, that would be about 1,100 square feet, which a 40 by 40 standing alone is a 1,600 square foot. Yeah.
so when you say foundation, you mean that it would have footings around the outside on the lean-to?
You have the posts on the lean-to, that has footings and foundations for to
It would
support the
just-
roof structure.
It would just be whatever is required to support that post.
And usually if it's a lean-to, it has the 42 inch footing on it.
I guess in the spot where the post would be, that is
Yes.
correct.
Yeah, so that's,
That's considered even though it's not around the exterior.
correct. So you get in, that's been my interpretation of the square footage of
Okay.
a structure, whether it's, anyways.
So how deep is the porch?
The porch is 6 by 24.
Okay. Take 6 feet by 40.
Yeah,
What porch are you referring to?
That wouldn't have the
This one
foundation.
Right.
Yeah,
Is this is, he's saying this is a porch,
Oh,
Right.
so it's
Okay.
really. You
What?
really have another 16.
yeah,
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
got it.
post.
that's what I'm
Because
so
saying.
it's 50 by 40, basically.
Yes, that's what I'm,
2,000 square
if
feet.
you're not counting that front porch, then you would.
Yeah,
You would come under that 1,600 square foot and it would work.
well, no, it's 50 by 40, because you have the 10 foot.
But you said it was 40 by 40.
That's without the lean-to.
That's without.
Okay.
You add the
okay.
lean-to in there, you're looking at 50 by 40.
Okay,
So without a porch and without a lean-to, is that within that's 1,600 square feet, right?
That lean-to is,
Well, if you didn't have the lean-to,
Right.
if it was 40 by 40 building, would
So that's 1,600, what's
would
the,
that meet the criteria then? Would that point?
because you're 2,200 square foot principal building, it'd be
You got-
1,100.
Okay, if you
walk
count the
out?
basement, yeah, because the basement is 3/4 finished.
I don't think that the basements count though. in-
Okay,
in
even though it's a
square footage.
walkout,
Yeah,
And this doesn't matter if it, no matter where it is on the property, that is the formula, correct?
Yes,
All right.
so like my neighbor right next door to me, I don't know square footage, but he's got a 2-story. I don't think it's any bigger than mine, but he's got a 30 by 40. It's 1,200 square feet. That seems like the minimum type of property or pole barn you would build. That acceptable, close enough?
the 1,200 square feet,
Yes.
I'd have to get clear, we'd have to get
Yeah.
clarification.
I guess I wasn't underneath, when we filled this out and I had talked to her about it, didn't realize that was an issue.
Yeah, and I think the finishes are an issue too, because when you look at the ordinance, the barn, the pole barn can be put in the front of the house. It's just that it has to have that same material finish that you have on your home, and I think you got a brick veneer out there with architectural style shingles and things like that, and so.
Yeah,
We've seen it where the pole barns have a brick wainscot around it. And then maybe steel, like a brown steel kind of match
sure.
above it.
mostly a shingle.
Usually it is shingled roof because it matches that, matches the principal structure. And that's the whole intent and purpose of the ordinance.
Absolutely. I want to match it as close as possible. And I want to use materials that will
Yeah.
never have to,
Right.
Yeah,
I have to build this myself to make it affordable, and it's a lot more work to do it that way.
Right.
But I kind of look at my house in reverse in the sense that, because I live on Dixie Highway, I'm not ever looking at my rooms 300 feet back from my house. And my backyard backs up the state land, so it's like having a lakefront, so to have that on that side of it. I guess I'll be the one to see it, and the UPS guy, or whatever, but it's pretty secluded,
Yeah.
so.
And when we're looking at variances, we're looking at the hardships. What is the hardship? Is it created by the homeowner? Is it created by a hardship because of topography or created by a hardship of other things? And when I went out and visited the site, that's what I was kind of looking for, is that hardship of why couldn't you locate it in the back? And I know you have room back there, you'd have to take trees out. But it would get in your view and all that stuff. And
There's I noticed a drop off. There's quite.
Yeah,
There is, that's correct.
The topography of
It's
that,
very, yeah.
especially going over to the neighbors, is almost impossible.
but I think there's, that's the hardship, because when you get out there, you can, I'm a landscape architect by trade, so forgive me when I say you're taking a few trees out. It hurts me to say that, but you could probably build it up enough to get the level pad for the 40 by 40. But then you got to deal with the square footage of the barn itself as it relates to the principal structure. For the detached structure, if he has it behind the house, it's still the same square footage applies, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the kind of things that this board looks at, is those hardships, those things that are extraordinarily circumstantial to the property that you can't do anything else to, and that's why we're here to to look at that and go over that. And right now, I was honestly, and this is just my opinion, I was having a hard time finding that hardship, and then I'm reading the ordinance about the square footage as well as the finishes, and I'm going, I couldn't really support the variance of doing that. So that's kind of the way I would look at that and interpret that. I'll open the floor if anybody else.
And the way I saw the topography, to put it out back, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, that's a lot of land. I mean, and there was snow when I walked back there. I saw how nice and level the place that was, and then I looked over and went, yeah, that would be a lot. And you're not going to put a pole barn on stilts. That would be rough. And I get that's your area of expertise, but I thought that was the hardship. Walking out there, what I saw was the backyard topography, what isn't suited for it.
And see, that's where I was, the topography. I can't imagine it
Yeah.
being built in the back.
Well, and I understand that, but I guess where I struggle is, where's the hardship? I see the hardship in terms of being a financial hardship, in terms of having it match the primary residence. But with our training, that's always been said, that's
Yeah,
we can't consider a financial hardship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just know I have to be the one to put it up.
And then,
And it's
Yeah.
work to either
and I-
try and shingle it opposed to putting metal on.
and
I'm
we
talking about just finances to do that. I'm literally talking about land moving to do it.
Yes.
right, no, but I'm saying in front. I mean,
Oh,
that's,
right.
because the ordinance says he can have it in front
If it matches.
if it matches.
And
So
yeah,
the we don't have to look at, can it go in back or not?
Gotcha.
We have to look at it. And I understand, we all understand where you're coming from in terms of that. It's just by law, we have certain things that we have to do, and being a financial or time isn't a hardship that we can consider to grant a variance.
Gotcha. So obviously a 40 by 40 is not possible because of the square footage of my house.
Mhm.
A 30 by 40 is pretty standard. Is that doable in front of my house? And it has to be sided and shingled and have some type of brick veneer along the bottom. Is that what has
It's
to be
30 by
done?
40, that's
1,200 square foot.
1,200.
That's still, because you're at 2250, so that's still over 50%.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I get where you're coming with the standard size and stuff like that too, but I don't know if there's any leniency.
Ordinance.
In
If
the
you
ordinance.
want to change it, you have to do a variant, prove the variance.
Yeah, because even 50 square feet bigger is not gonna allow, okay.
So what size building can I put on my property then? If this has to be done.
anything, well, whatever, 50% of your principal residence. So take a look at that. If it's 2250 or
1,100 square feet, whatever.
1,100 square feet. Yeah, that's what the ordinance dictates in that. And you don't, then you would be compliant. You wouldn't need a variance for that because you got the same thing. Now you're just dealing with the finishes on the building,
Right, which have to match the house.
which have to match the house.
And I have a little bit of brick as an accent in front, and the rest is all sided. If I had a veneer brick down low, like a wainscot that you're talking about, is that acceptable?
Yeah, we've
And
done
then
that.
siding above that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, just when we whip around my house, and I come to the corner, it's like, oh, there goes my siding,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and I'm trying to make it as durable as possible.
Right. So, yeah, so if you had, let's just hypothetically say you had the brick wainscot veneer around, the two sides, the ones facing the garage and the one that you come up and around. I mean, that would be matching the house.
Mhm.
Your shingles would be matching. If you did the asphalt shingles on it, you'd be matching that. Then you would be compliant with the ordinance.
Gotcha. Otherwise, if I wanted to put up a 1,200 square foot building, I would have to put this in for an extra 100 square feet.
If he were
If you
to,
want to apply for that variance right now, we can be on record, if you guys want to put that on there, that's fine by me.
I think we have to close this public
You'll have to
hearing
close it to get.
and then reopen it. Because we can't do it on this
Right.
one. We have to close.
so explain, if we close this public hearing.
Vote on this one, you close the public hearing, then you vote on this one, which is for the variance.
For the 40 by 40.
For the
No, it's
Can I-
the variance is for
Can I ask you
The-
a
the
question,
floor.
Danielle?
the
You know what, I don't
materials.
know that we-
In my experience, the applicant can withdraw his application. So it's like, he's not,
If he
been
makes,
here, and he can change his application, right? Am I correct on this?
Well, the thing is, all this public hearing stuff involves 300-foot notices, public notices, nobody's here. We gave him the opportunity to come in. I sent out notices as to what the variance was about.
And you got no responses.
he would
I
have,
had a couple people call wanting to know.
you would have to close the public hearing and then you would have to make the motion yourself
To
to
withdraw.
adjourn. No, he would have to adjourn it. And we could hear it at a later date without you paying any fee. As long as you make the motion to adjourn. If we make the motion,
Right, okay.
we're done because we vote
Mhm.
and then you're done. But if you want to make the motion, you can come back and there's no
And then
fee.
regroup.
You just do it
yeah.
again.
Would like to make a motion.
Okay. Okay, but
Are
we.
you sure? You're 100% sure that's not.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
That never-
Daniel, the applicant withdraw his application in front of the board. I don't know the due process.
No.
You evidently. do,
Well,
so-
We don't have to vote on it.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
and if
He's
if
just
you-
going
if
to,
you look at
he's just going to
He's
make a
got-
motion to adjourn the public.
He's got more information.
He
He
wants
wants
to
to
table
adjourn
it.
to get more information back to us.
Yeah, he wants
So
to
it'll
just
be, the
table it.
next meeting would be just a continuation of this
Yes.
meeting.
Well, at this point then, do we just have a motion to close the public hearing?
Yeah, we're gonna make a motion to close the public
Are you
hearing
making that
first.
motion?
Sure.
Okay.
And you're gonna second it.
Okay,
And then you can make an emotion, if you
Mhm.
would, to withdraw until you get more information to adjourn it. And then we'll vote on that. And then you get Debbie's on coming back at the next one. But it could be the next regularly scheduled. So
Okay,
if we don't have another one for another 6 months,
yeah,
that could be an issue for you. But you can come before us and be the first on the agenda at the next regularly scheduled BZA meeting.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
well, we gotta go through our process
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
go ahead, Judy.
Oh, I did make
She
the.
closed the.
I
Oh,
did-
that's second.
You-
Yeah. Yeah.
During the
public hearing.
the public hearing.
Yeah.
So, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, we're adjourned the public hearing or close the public hearing, not adjourn. So at this point,
I would like to make the motion to adjourn to get more information
Yep.
for the next meeting.
Okay, for the next regularly scheduled meeting. Okay,
And How is that done? Do I- like an
You've done it.
email Or just,
Somebody has to approve his motion. I don't. know.
So I will approve
Sure.
the motion to adjourn the meetings so that.
I guess if it needs a second, I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
thank you very much.
Okay,
This evening.
So
Yeah.
if you can get more information and get back, then at the next one, we can make a
If
decision.
I, yep. come
Now
up
that
with
we
it,
know what you want, because we
right, I'll
didn't
come
know
up
about,
with a design and plan that's
yeah,
exactly
we
what is
didn't know
required
about the square.
to meet all
footage.
ordinances and.
If you come up with a plan that meets all ordinances, you don't have to. come back.
you don't even have to come back.
Right,
Okay, I'll do it both ways. I have to figure out the exact square footage of my house, and 250, I think that's what it is. I can
Mhm.
work up one that way and see what if it's 1,200 square foot is what I want to do, if it's worth it or not.
Okay,
Okay,
Yeah, that sounds good.
you can either be done or you can come back. and be
Yeah.
done.
right.
And then I can just coordinate with her
and I would suggest, you can go right on the, you can get the codes right on the website too.
Okay,
At the, Danielle, can you send him a link and to,
It's on
It's on the website.
it's on the website, yeah.
for the paperwork again and all that.
No, you actually go to the code of ordinances and
Okay,
you read the code of ordinances, and the code that we're reviewing is 54-616 detached accessory structures.
okay,
And look under there, and that's got it right there, what you have and what you need to meet for.
sure. It
detached
seems like I got that paperwork.
If you want this, I have the whole checklist with all the ordinances that I made a copy of.
Thank you very much.
So you can take that if you want.
Perfect.
Okay,
That gives you everything you need.
Thank you guys. for your
Thank you.
time.
Yeah.
yep. You have a good evening.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna shake that one.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
We'll be talking.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Okay, there's no new business on the agenda, and is there any public comments tonight?
Nice job.
We have a.
At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn,
I will make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
All right.
and I'll second. All right.
Now Danielle, had you not,
Everybody meeting closed. Adjourn.
never did.
Yeah, I'm a zoning administrator.
Pardon?
It's damn soon. I've never heard of that.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it was, I think
Yeah,
it's the last one we did,
And I.
because I know we've done it where if they request the
The withdrawal.
withdrawal, then we don't vote on it and they can come.
I've never voted on a withdrawal. That's kind of weird.
There.
Yeah, but the applicant is an opportunity.
I wouldn't lead you astray.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't lead you astray.
Well, I think you would.
Standard.
I just have never had that happen.
30 by 40, 40 by 60.
Well, I think part of it is because you always
30
feel
by
that it costs these people so much to come before us.
I know.
And it's
Yeah,
a shame.
it is.
And